Well, here you go, everyone. Josh the Collector Guy. Hope you all had an awesome New Year's, everyone. Hope you had a happy and safe time. Hope you had a good week as well, and hope you're able to find some awesome cars for your collections. Well, this is my lot of stuff yet again, everyone. Good variety of diecast this week. Got some Hot Wheels, as I've been showing for I don't know how many weeks now, but a few different ones today. A Tomica and some Majorettes. Those were some interesting finds on eBay. Pretty much where all this is from, so I was very happy with those. Good to have probably something different to show each and every week. But anyway, we'll start off with the Star Wars stuff just here. As you can see, there's a massive explosion of stuff just here, but some very sad news this week. Hearing the passing of Jason Wingreen, who originally voiced Boba Fett in the old original movies, Empire Strikes Back anyway, what was released back in the 80s. He was the original voice for Boba Fett, whereas in the later versions it was changed to the guy who voices and played Jango Fett, if everyone's familiar with Star Wars. So that was quite sad. I say he is my favourite voice for Boba Fett, and he'll always be the best voice for Boba Fett in my opinion. He just had that, how do you say it, the perfect voice for him, how Boba Fett should sound. But anyway, that's quite sad. But him doing that voice and many other movies he did do as well will live on forever. But anyway, on to the Star Wars stuff now. And picked up the old Boba Fett Slave one in the Hot Wheels. I have been eyeing this one off for a little while now, and every time I went to the shop I couldn't even find one in a decent package. But thankfully this week I did find one in a really good package, so I was happy with that. Not only my favourite character, but my favourite ship in Star Wars as well, my old Boba Fett Slave 1. Really awesome indeed. And as you can see on the back there, it's got the old holder to put it on, just like all the other ships. A good set, that one. Good variety of ships. And I think they're doing another lot too for this year in 2016, so it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. Got some figures as well. There's been a few I've been after here, what I finally was able to grab, like the First Order TIE Fighter pilot, excuse me. That one's a really nice, decent figure. One's on the back there. So I was very happy to track that one down. As were these two. These were number 1 and 2 on high priority to get anyway. Old Captain Phasma. I did remember they did make her, but when the figures first came out, but the movie wasn't out, so obviously the popularity of the movie made sure that all these kinds of figures weren't available, because whenever I go to the shop and have a look, it's always the same usual figures what are always left on the pegs there. So I was quite happy to find Captain Phasma, and I made sure that I tracked down another one to open as well, so very, very happy with that. Hopefully she'll be back in the next movie, which will eventually be released in, I think, 2017 maybe. I could be wrong. And probably my new favourite bad guy, old Kylo Ren. Had to get him on the single card as well, because there is another version of it in a little box, so very happy with that. And I do want to track down another one to open as well. Really, really do like him, and Captain Phasma as well. Really enjoyed the Force Awakens. If everyone doesn't know or hasn't seen it yet, highly recommend you to go see it. As I just mentioned, loose Captain Phasma figure. She looks really good. It came with another thing in there, like, looks like a blade, but it kind of looks like a line marking machine for the First Order. It's like a blade thing, but I just think it looks like a line marking thing. And went to the market, and this is the only thing I found this week. Finally have been able to track down a TIE Fighter pilot. I don't know how long it's been since I've wanted a TIE Fighter pilot. I think probably a year or so now, so I finally have one for the collection. This one, interestingly, has Made in China on it there. Let's see if we can focus. Yes, we can. Usually these figures, from what I found on eBay, all the ones I looked at had Made in Hong Kong in them, so China must have been further along the line, I'm kind of guessing. Might have been further along near the end of the run for him. I'm not really too sure about it. I couldn't really find out much about it, but I think I did see one with its original weapon for $22, so I'm quite happy with that because I didn't pay anything like that to get this one. So finally ticked one off the list I wanted for one of the figures I wanted off the list. Really awesome figure too. And I've seen the price of carded ones, the old original ones, and they're like $200, so I don't think I'll be spending my money on one of those anytime soon. So very, very happy with that. Getting quite hooked on the carded Star Wars figures. Hope to find more, and even loose ones as well, no matter what. And on now to the diecast. Got a good variety of cars, as I just said. We'll start off with this lot just up here. It was all pretty much off the same seller as well, and a few of them I haven't always had my eye on, but always thought it'd be cool to have a card and also something different for the collection as well. We'll start off with the Tomica. I do have this little Chevy camper truck loose. I remember finding the loose one at my diecast meet, I think well over a year ago, if not longer than that. I think this one's kinda hard to get. Well, on card it'd be really hard to get, I assume, but I'm not really too familiar with the rarity of the Tomicas, but I have seen a few of them go for very, very big prices. The variety of vehicles in the range for the Tomicas, and might I say, I really do like the Tomicas. I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of Isuzu trucks, and really the only diecast company that seems to make them is Tomica, so that's one reason I love the Tomicas, and they do such a great job on cars, trucks and whatever, and they do a lot of good different things as well, like bulldozers, as you can see there. There's one listed. They just do a lot of oddball sort of vehicles, what you wouldn't expect to see in the Hot Wheels lineup, which is really cool. It's what I like to see. Especially with the newer Tomicas, they do a good variety of vehicles, might I say. But buying Hot Wheels and that, it's kind of hard sometimes trying to collect so many different cars, but every now and again I have a look on eBay to see what's available. So very happy with that one. Really nice detail, opening doors. Tomica do a fantastic job on their diecast, might I say, and their detail probably is sometimes better than the Hot Wheels, like with the opening doors and that. I think they might do opening hoods, I could be wrong. Maybe in their premium sort of cars, I would say. So that one's a really awesome one. Gonna have to find room in my Tomica box for that one. And something I've never seen before, these Majorettes in this sort of packaging. I'm used to the ones back in the 90s. I think they were like on a little flat bubble or even on a card like that. So it's pretty cool to get, well, these Majorettes and their military bulldozers. Two things I really love, military vehicles and bulldozers. Absolutely adore bulldozers, and never seen anything like this before. It looks as if it came like that. I'm not sure how old this is. It might be, I would say it's probably late 70s, early 80s maybe. I could be wrong. There could be a date there. I should have looked, shouldn't I have? But they're pretty cool. I haven't seen too many of them. I know when I do a search for them on eBay it doesn't come up with much, but I think I got a really good deal on these, and I assume, as I was just saying, it came like this came like that, and it was all perforated and you had to separate it to put it on the shelf. So I think that's quite interesting how it arrived, and I don't think there'd be too many still attached like this, so I reckon that's really cool. Like, the packaging's just really basic, but to me it's quite striking, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it. And Majorette does bring back a lot of good memories for me, especially from when I was growing up in the 90s. Dad always used to buy the Majorette trucks and all different sorts of vehicles as well, though. And I would have to admit, one of the boxes under my bed probably contains about 70% of Majorettes, so, well, maybe not that much, but still, I would say quite, well, a lot more than the Matchbox and the Hot Wheels anyway. So I certainly had a lot of good memories with the Majorettes, and they did a really good job back in the day. I think a lot of the ones from when I was a kid were still made in France, so that's really awesome. Quite happy with this. Quite interesting. And it looks like the treads as well are all rubber, which is cool to see. Nowadays it's just 4 plastic wheels underneath for a bulldozer. That's really awesome indeed. And now on to the Hot Wheels. As you can see, a good variety of them, and a whole heap of these free special pack buy one get one free offers in the mix today. And there's one in here, I'm sure you can already see it, which I've been after for ages. Did I just touch it? We'll have to wait and see. First up, just one of the Hot Ones cards. I knew this was going to happen. I even said to Dad, because I showed him the yellow blister, and I said, wouldn't be surprised when it arrives the blister's cracked. And what do you know, the blister's cracked. That's usually what happens sometimes to me, unfortunately. It's kind of disappointing, but hey, it could be worse. They couldn't have turned up at all, could have missed out on all of this, so I'd probably rather take a cracked blister over a lost package any day of the week. It's on the much older Hot Ones card as well, and it's the old Taxi, USA Taxi, and thanks to Danny, Mr. D. Melzinger, I think that's how you say his name. My apologies if I've butchered your name, Danny. That's his YouTube name. He did confirm that that is a Chevy. I think he said it was a Chevy Malibu, so that does fit into my collecting. And do check out his channel as well. He's uploaded some pretty good videos this week. So that one's really cool. I love the old Hot Ones cards, especially these really early ones. What one can we start off with? How about we start off with this one of the 2 packs. Got the old Fire Chaser just there. Don't see too many of those. Same with the old Super Van just there. It's awesome to have one of these carded in the collection. I don't think I have one at all. Or whereas that one's called the California Cruise, and I really do like that one. I think it does come in a chrome variation as well, whereas this one's metal flake grey, you could say. I think the blister's sort of coming off, but anyway, I'm not in a rush to open it. Would never open it. Really cool. Do like those 2 models. On now to the next one, the old Fire Eater, truck I grew up with when I was a kid. Probably not really exactly from my era, but in the 90s they did still produce it in the exact same tampos and colour and everything, so a lot of good memories with this truck. I've probably mentioned it a couple of times, how I've got so many variations from them from when I was a kid. I think I've got the chrome one, the red one like this, maybe with different wheels, but I do know I've definitely got this one. I think it's based on an America La France fire truck as well. I could be wrong on that. Do correct me if I'm wrong. So that one's really awesome indeed. Really awesome looking truck, and I think I got the Maybe Toys version of it. I could be wrong. Gee, it's bad how I forget what I do and don't have in my collection. And the old little, I think that's a little Datsun or a Nissan or something. Yep, it's a Datsun 200SX. That one's pretty cool. I know the guys at Diecast TV channel would be liking that one. Well, a model in my opinion you don't always see as well, so it's pretty cool to have it on the 2-pack variation, you could say, sort of way they've done it. Also came out in white as well, and that one does have an opening bonnet, which is pretty cool, because a lot of Hot Wheels, as everyone knows, doesn't really have a lot of features on them sometimes, but Hot Wheels are still awesome no matter what, if they have opening or non-opening doors or whatever. The next one here, the old Letter Getter. I really love the USA Mail one of this. Probably one of my favourite sort of, well, trucks, vans or whatever Hot Wheels did back in the day. And the old Cadillac Seville. Might I say, there's just something about the Sevilles. I absolutely adore the body shape on those Sevilles. I actually remember a swap meet later last year anyway. I remember a guy had a old Cadillac Seville there, and it was just an absolute beautiful car. I know it was a bit worse, she was a bit worse for wear, but there's just something about those Sevilles. I'd actually love to see someone turn one into a drag car. I reckon it'll look pretty tough. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me, but there's just something about that body shape I absolutely love. But as I always say, Cadillac make the prettiest cars. So that's a good combination, that one. I do like this one probably, well, one of my favourites out of the bunch, but they're all awesome anyway. It's got a good variety of models. And as you can see, last but not least, everyone's probably going, well, of course, Josh would save this for last because it's got one of his favourites on it. Got the old Super Scraper, but we'll get to it in just a second. It's got the old racing stocker here, just the Mountain Dew stocker. A couple of variations on those ones. I do believe it comes in a lighter green or a darker green. And also there's a base variation, I think, with NASCAR stocker and Mountain Dew stocker. I think when it says Mountain Dew stocker, it's worth a considerable, well, higher price than this one would be anyway. Let's just say it in English. Obviously a kid didn't like what I said because he's screaming out next door. And the old Super Scraper. This one has been an extremely tough one for me to find. I've found more of the grey hub Real Rider versions than I have found this Blackwall, and I've seen more of the white hub Super Scrapers Real Riders than this Blackwall variation. For some reason, this one has been an extremely hard one for me to find. I know on my price guide book it says it's not worth a lot at all, but I think that needs to be changed because I reckon this one might be, well, to me, could be worth more than the Real Rider versions because I just rarely see it. I've probably only seen a handful of loose ones on eBay, and even those are all beaten up and that. But that's just my opinion anyway. It's probably different in the US. You probably find them growing on trees. But for me, it's just been extremely hard for me to get. And I'm very glad to have this one in the collection now because it's been a variation I've been always searching for and always wanting to have in the collection. And finally, I do have one. It's on a 2-pack as well. That's going to look funny in my Bywayman case. So very, very happy with that one indeed. Absolutely adore this one. The old Henry's Hauling one. Very nice indeed. And everyone probably knows I love this truck to bits. Well, they probably do by now. Really, really nice truck. Very basic looking, but very, very nice. That's probably why I love collecting her so much, because she's one tough Chevy truck. Well, that pretty much leads us to the end of the video this week, everyone. Really hope you did enjoy. Hope you had a good New Year's, as I touched on at the start of the video. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Really appreciate your kind comments, the views, the likes, subscriptions, whatever. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate the nice comments. Thank you for everything, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Well, that's it for this week's video, everyone. As I said probably before, hope you enjoyed. And remember, as always, everyone, happy hunting. Keep the hobby strong. See you later, everyone. Have an awesome week.